Doug here from 2 Plus Stuff, hanging out with Jack from Rerolling Once. Oh, I accidentally put his screen down. Here we go.
It's me again.
Yeah. Oh, for a split second, I thought we lost audio again. I was like, oh no.
Oh, we did it. Hello, everybody.
So, yeah, go ahead and type in the chat if you can hear and see us okay. Yeah, always. It was just kind of a groggy morning, so I'm still getting with it. But how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I just filmed the battle report with my
Nope.
buddy Chris. He brought his Beast Claw Raiders over, and this is an army we haven't had on channel yet. And
Okay.
yeah, a lot of fun. It's weird because we're switching from handing the camera back and forth, which we still do if we're playing each other.
Yeah.
But if there's a guest, we're just holding the camera now
Yep.
because we just got some feedback. And so that was kind of interesting. This is the first time I recorded a game where I'm just recording it, and it's just weird because it's just from my point of view the whole time.
Mm.
And so that was kind of interesting. I tried to switch it up a little bit, but yeah, it was a good game. Good, it had fun, and
Cool.
it's weird like seeing people who, because I've recorded so many now, I'm just used to it.
Yep.
I'm able to be myself, but seeing people freeze up when the camera's going,
Yep.
and that can be interesting. And we recorded a game last night, Doug and I.
We're cranking them out.
Yeah. Just it's nice to be ahead, especially with Warcry coming up, and hopefully, we're not knocking on wood, not saying we get to, but GW informed us that because we kind of wanted to do some reviews and whatnot, and they told us that in order to start getting stuff, we need 10,000 subscribers, and we did. We hit it. Anyway. Unless hopefully we don't see a mass exodus because of this my debut on the show or whatever.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
awesome.
we're doing well.
Cool. When did you guys start that you finished playing a game by 11?
We started at 8.
Oh, geez. No, thank you. It's too early for Warhammer.
Yeah. Especially I think we finished around 12 or something. So go to sleep after playing Warhammer, then wake up to play Warhammer.
It's a good life, I guess. Right on. So cool. What are you working on right now?
I have a getting some. Ooh, where did I put it? Hopefully, it didn't fall and break. Here he is. He's over here. I have a Castellet that I'm working on. Old school, first edition Stormcast. But giving somebody +1 to the save, it's good no matter what what era of Age of Sigmar you're playing. And I'm painting that up because I want to run a Lethis army.
Okay.
Because seeing that I got KO from you and I got Fire Slayers from you, that's two of the things that Lethis can take and I already have Stormcast. So
exactly.
I'm already almost there. So I'm working on this guy because you can give the Stormcast. There's a command ability you can give Liberators that gives them +1 save, and then with this guy's they're +2 save, reroll 1 with their shield. So I'm like, oh, that's going to be a really good unit that's hard to move.
Sweet, I dig it.
And I've been trying out contrast paints. I'm initially I was very excited, especially the first time I use them. Now I've dialed it back a little bit, where I'm like, okay, they're just another tool in the toolbox.
Yep.
I went all in with contrast on this Excelsior War Priest, and I'm not sure if I like it. I'm definitely gonna put some regular paint on here.
Yeah, I mean, I like the contrast results I got with my Bone Splitters, but that's because I didn't stop at contrast. I just kind of kept building up colors after it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, okay, that's cool. I want to know how it looks when you start throwing other paints on there. I'll go to the downward cam here. So I have this is the Shadespire Warband for Ironjaws, and so I already told my patrons, but I'm actually very excited to start jumping into Warhammer Underworlds. Just because painting 2,000 point armies is daunting, and I needed a break, so I need something short and brutal. And I just found out recently that the Mox over in Seattle, like they actually have a group. And for the longest time, I thought no one played it around here. So, yeah.
Yeah, they play on Thursdays. I've seen them play a couple times.
Yeah.
And I painted the orc skin on those models.
You did. And so
we finally did it in reverse. I traded some.
Yeah, you did. So you did Zenithal highlighting on them too, and I'm very excited to use the contrast on that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to break your heart a little bit. I don't think I'm going to paint them blue. I'll try to put some blue accents in there. But
They're yours to paint however you want, my
I'm,
friend.
I'm looking at them because I want, you know, but the idea of matching your iron jaws is cool. It's just I want to try that yellow with this zenithal. So I think that'd be awesome. Let's see. In the chat, we got how long are we streaming for? Zombie Man. I mean, I don't really have a time set. Maybe like hour and a half, something like that. I'll be on. Jack can go whenever he wants. He's a free
Why is
agent.
it concentrated on me the whole time?
Huh? I got me in the bottom right corner. I'm basically doing a screen share. I can adjust that if you want.
I'm like, this is not bouncing back and forth.
If you feel awkward, I can definitely change that. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Give me a minute.
Oh, I gotta say, I thank you for tagging me in on your Instagram because I got a big spike in followers.
Heyo.
I'm like, oh shit, it's real.
There we go. Make it more.
Bump is real.
That's me. I just we'll see how that is. Tell me what you think.
That's better.
Okay. Less awkward.
Yeah.
Just the Jack show.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. It's cool. I'm glad that happened to you. It's Instagram one of those things I don't typically like promote it a lot, but yeah, it's been taking off recently. Like not Instagram as a whole, that's been on for a while, but let's see here. Okay, gonna start with the yellow on the armor. So, okay, without spoilers, what do you think of Archaon?
The first game I played Archaon with, I wasn't that impressed with him.
Yeah.
In the second game, I was very impressed with him. And I'm not even saying that he wasn't bad the first game. So he's very good. He feels expensive, but honestly, that second game, he felt like he was worth every point. There are things like his command ability. I believe in like whatever we are, 2.5 or 2.2, whatever version we're in now. It seems dated because to use it, he has to be your general, which is one thing, which is so you lose a command trait. But it's like if you use his command ability in the hero phase, all other generals or all other heroes with command abilities get to use them in the hero but it's only if they can already use that command ability in the hero phase.
Yep.
And when you look at it, like it seems like most command abilities now are used outside of the hero phase.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's like almost like a waste. And so you'd have to, I'm sure you might be able to combo with it, but I haven't looked into what chaos stuff has really juicy command abilities for the hero phase yet. But he's a beautiful model. I'm a big fan of his, and yeah,
cool.
It's nice to get him on the table.
Yeah, he's one of those models that he always looks good on the table.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So yeah. So
what'd you think of him?
Do it.
What'd you think of him?
I went into the game thinking he's not that scary, and then he became very scary. And it was awesome.
Try to move my camera a little bit.
So you said you recorded your game with Beast Claw Raiders?
Yeah, my buddy Chris.
Okay. Then I will not ask you about that for your guys' content, but I'm very interested to see it. I like that faction. There was that time, like, just a couple weeks ago where I had my finger hovering over a buy button on eBay.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. The deal, I'm sure if the deal was a little better, you probably would have pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
But, like, the game's too popular right now. So you're not going to find those deals anymore because there's already people hunting for them. Like, I was able to get another unit of Hurricane crossbows for a decent price. They're like, I'm going to have to strip them because they were painted kind of poorly. But those are few and far between. Like, I kept looking because I needed to get Aether Wings for this new list I'm creating. And I was able to get a set from you and a set from Mark. So I'm actually good now. But
Sweet.
yeah, I was scouring eBay and nothing.
Now, I was going to ask you. I thought you were like kind of stormcasted out. Is that still going to be your tournament army for the foreseeable future?
Well, because I'm still waiting for my Slanesh.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
To get painted. and I'm not going to say like it's hard to put into words like oh my I'm crying boohoo because they're too good, but I wanted just a middle kind of just a fun army because just I was giving people poor play experiences when I was playing my Stormcast, and I kind of went like hey maybe this year I'll just go with I don't need to try to win. I can just throw dice and have fun. But yeah, Slanesh is pretty darn good.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, yeah. So like it's the is it the depravity points? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the summoning just seems like not going to say broken, but it's really good. Seems like the army could still be very good if you made it if you dropped it down a little bit. It doesn't need to be. It feels abusive.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I've only played against it twice. I think. I mean, I guess one time was more just a demo game with Barker, but yeah, it can be brutal. All the speed and aggression there is just compounds it for sure.
It seems like you have to kind of build your army specifically to beat Slanesh in order to actually have a chance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
But there are, I mean, not every army could be, not every army, like all armies aren't created equal, I guess.
that's true. I mean, yeah, you've played KO now. You know that.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so trying to like, oh, people can't be, if they don't know what they're talking about. I'm like, oh, okay. There's a lot of rolling fours to hit,
Yes,
but
there
I
is.
can say I'm undefeated with them.
Shut up. Yes, you can. We'll change that.
Whatever.
Eh.
I'll table your Shadespire armies.
Oh, that's funny. Let's see. If anyone have any questions for us, you can throw it up in the chat here. Hello, happy 4th of July to everybody. Got a lot of those. Let's see.
I have a question, Doug.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you have tomorrow off?
Do I have tomorrow off?
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Oh, nice. I got to go to work.
Yeah, I generally have Fridays off, and also it is my birthday tomorrow.
Oh, happy 30th birthday, my friend.
Yeah, yeah. So, not sure what we're doing, but probably something a little fun. Yeah, so yeah, turning 30. Don't feel an age over 29.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
No. No, it's
It's
not.
big, like unless you feel it. Do you feel old? Because like I didn't start feeling old till my body started breaking down. Then I'm like I feel it all the time.
No.
That's a. I was good up until 35. And then my
Then it
body
hit
was
you.
like, all right,
We're
let me
done
check out.
now.
Like we're gonna, that nice full head of hair you got. We're gonna give you alopecia, and so it's gonna come back and fall out and change colors and fall out and come back and fall out and enjoy that.
That's funny.
No, I get these injections that the biggest thing is as long as my eyebrows stay, I'm good.
Yep.
Because people go back to watch the beginning of Rerolling Ones, like I'd say the first 2 or 3 months, you look at my eyebrows. I was actually, and like it was fun. You guys were really supportive. Like, I can hardly notice it, but because it's me, I definitely noticed my eyebrows. So I appreciate you guys being being my rock.
What caused that? Is it alopecia you're talking about? Let's see here. Oh, Stone, you need to give Total War Warhammer another shot. Skip campaign play and multiplayer battles. Skip campaign. Oh, and play multiplayer battles. That's the real value for a tabletop player. Oh, okay. I'd be willing to try that.
Yeah, I use it when I paint, like Total War,
Yeah.
because like if I just sit down to paint and we're not doing a hobby hangout, I can maybe do 10 minutes and I'm done. But if I play Total War, like on campaign, and I'll do stuff, hit intern, go paint,
Yeah.
and when I'm done painting, I'm ready to start playing.
See, I can't do that. I'll just stare at the screen and not get anything done.
We need to play Chaos Bane again.
Yeah, we do.
That was actually I had a good time. I had a good time like living vicariously through you.
Through me.
Yeah, because it was that was your first Diablo type game, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
And so I was like, oh, that's awesome because this is like my what I started playing Diablo when it came out, and so it's like it's just the same thing reheated kind of thing
Hmm.
in a world that I grew up loving.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a pretty good game. I mean, it's. I read some online reviews from like more video game focused channels, and they had mixed things to say about it. It's not like a blockbuster. It's not like Total
Yeah,
War kind of thing, but it was entertaining for sure.
yeah, definitely. I could like when I played, I'm like, oh, I've played better versions of this game. It's
Yeah,
just in a
yeah,
world I like.
which is fine.
Yeah,
Not everything's gonna
definitely.
be Dawn of War or Total War, whatever that.
Yeah. So if any video game companies want us to review their stuff, please send it in.
I want an Aegis of Sigmar video game so bad. I like the old world stuff. It's just I don't have that connection to it.
Yeah, I like totally agree.
So yeah. Let's see. Murica painting. Let's see. Finally catching a live stream. Hello, everyone who's just catching a live stream. Matthias Runchel is Aventus Firestrike worth a buy? That's the
Competitively, no.
yeah.
If you're just like if that's all you care about, no, it's not but if it looks cool and it does okay stuff on the board, but like I don't use it kind of thing. Yeah.
That's the Is that the
Torlon.
Dracoline? No,
Oh, yeah, but Dracoline. Remember, I'm thinking of the Torlon guy, like the mayor of Hammerhall or whatever he's called.
the mayor. Yep.
I was thinking of the same thing. Aventus I've used before. Um, it was okay.
There's your raving review.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. It just depends on what you're looking for. If you're going for you trying to win tournaments or are you just trying to have fun?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what separates Aventus from like the basic, non-named version.
I think everything in this game has value. You know, there
Ooh,
are some stuff that's better than others. There stuff that's more optimized, but everything does something. There's nothing that does nothing.
yeah, I'd agree with that.
For frigates,
What'd you say?
except
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 frigates. Let's see here. Any idea if the Craven King is good? I'm getting him to paint. That is the dude from Fire Slayers who can steal a command point. Which,
you mean Nighthawk,
what did I say?
Fire Slayers.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Fire Nighthaunt. Who can steal a command point? Yeah. I mean,
I mean, like I think his value definitely went up considering you can only buy one command point now.
yep,
So you're
that's a
not
big deal.
people are going to have less command points than they used to have. And so being able to steal a command point and with mercenaries in the game now, so people will get even less command points. I think he and his points went down, so I like him. I mean, against my Stormcast, the Shootcast, which is very command point hungry, starved. That guy, I had to try to get him off as soon as possible because I need those command points every turn. And you have on a 5-up a chance to steal it. Oh yeah, he's a prime target.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to like those models that you can't. It's harder to tell the value of it. Like being able to steal a command point, we can all look at that and be like, "That's good," but you don't know how that really looks on your opponent's list until you do it, and they're like, "Oh crap."
Yeah, because stealing a command point from Gloomspite gets not that,
Exactly.
not that big a deal.
Take two, they're small.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, from your army, that would be huge. I'm trying to think. I don't always use my command points for Stormcast. That depends on the matchup, but yeah, there's some good stuff you can do.
I'm almost at the best part of painting.
Which is?
No oil wash.
Yeah. Where it feels like you gain like 10 things of talent, 10 points in your painting skill. You're like, yeah,
Look how good I am.
I'm the best. Okay. Let me see here. And so, yeah, what I'm doing right now is I just finished the yellow on these dudes, and I'm just trying to.
Hey, Emmanuel, you're painting a pendulum for your gits. Are you doing anything interesting? Or are you just keeping it the same? Are you like making it like a mushroom kind of pendulum, or are you kind of customize it for the gits, or just leaving it as is?
Ooh,
That's what it was in the chat. Hopefully,
no, you're fine. Go chat, folks.
went down the wrong tube.
So I'll go down here to the downward cam. This is how the yellow is turning out. I like it. I'm going to build it up with a little bit of highlight, of course, but yeah, I think it's turned out pretty good. I mean, I've never tried to do it in a zenithal myself, but the way it comes off over these guys is just awesome.
Looking good. I like it. I like it. Yeah. I mean, I would have preferred if you made it match my orange jaws, but
I wanted to try something different.
I'll be getting those in a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Doug and I did a trade because my Shadespire stuff has just been oop.
That was a word. It's all good.
Yeah, that's the goalie. Been sitting on the shelf since I got the game. I played it maybe for the first month and a half it came out, and I had fun, but it's like I think, which I'm afraid this might be for Warcry for me as well. I'd rather just play AOS. And so I played meeting engagements, which was fun, but I'm like, I'd rather just play AOS like the normal way. Yep. And so I use Shadespire Warbands for AOS. And so that's kind of why, so I didn't need that stuff anymore. So Doug has it.
Yeah, I mean,
sadly, not talented enough using it to try out contrast paints. Awesome. The talent comes. It's like everything, like painting, getting better in the game, anything in life. You have to try to get better at. It's like a conceited, conscious effort to get better at stuff. Like I'm happy with my level of paint skill, but I could do things like go into Warhammer Weekly and their hobby cheating videos and stuff like that, and learn techniques to get better. But I'd just rather not. I'm too lazy. But I did try to get better at Warhammer. So I watched a lot of videos, went to a lot of tournaments, and actually learned lessons.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't been to an event in a little while, but I mean, there was a time where I really wanted to get better. That's why I focused on the Stormcast, because there's a lot of tools in that toolbox.
Speaking of event, there's one next Saturday.
Yeah, I gotta ask about that.
Everybody still thinks that you're mad about your first tournament.
Oh yeah, I gotta correct that at some point.
Yeah, Chris brought it up again in today's like off camera. I'm like, oh no, he's good.
They don't believe you. Jack's just saying that because he's nice. Yeah, no. So my first event, I was upset. I won't lie about it. And then the TO reached out to me and kind of explained what was going on. He had to call in sick, and it was just a big mess. I was like, yeah. Huh?
Like you weren't unreasonable.
No. The second it was explained to me, I was like, cool.
About it, but you weren't unreasonable.
I didn't name names. I didn't put anyone on blast. It was just didn't have it. You don't always have a good time. Mine just happened to be the first one. Oh, sure.
So,
yeah, I do need to go to another one.
So what do you have in Bone Splitters that's not assembled? It's just what do you have purchased so far?
For the Bone Splitters, I have got Let me think here for a hot second. I have 10 Boar Boy Maniacs. Those are the more elite ones. I have 30 more boys. I have Savage Big Boss and like 2 War Docs. And that's it.
Okay.
So, good start. A lot of bodies to start painting. But, yeah. Not a bad way to get going. Not sure where I really want to expand from there, though. Which is that's always where I always get into weird situations when it comes to armies, because it's just like I'll get initial stuff and be like, I love painting these, this is a lot of fun, and when it comes time to be like push from like 1,000 to 2,000 points, that's where I tend to get like bogged down.
Man, I think you did something I wouldn't do, but it's like it's still probably a good time to do it, like money wise, but starting a new old army, as far as like something that you don't know when they're going to redo the books, and you don't know what's going to change about them when they do redo the book. And so you're actually purchasing an army that is dated.
Yeah.
And it's like usually I get deals on armies and whatnot, but actually like, okay, I waited to go all in on Slaanesh until Slaanesh came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, there's probably more wisdom in waiting, but I like them when I had them before, and I don't know. It's done. It's like anyone trying to get into Seraphon right now. It's a rough sell. But I don't know. They got some cool stuff right now, and I don't really worry about battle tomes changing stuff. It'll change. Everything's gonna change always.
Have you, being the insider that you are, have you heard any news on Sylvaneth?
No, they don't. I mean, so I don't really get told anything. I basically just get an email that says like, "Hey, this is in the mail." That's it. And so I haven't gotten that. So as far as I know, there's no movement on it. So yeah, that's a sad release. I feel bummed. I know people probably put a lot of work into that, and like all of the momentum of it is just sapped. I was like, ugh. Let's see. A little bit of chat about Warcry, which I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited about. I want a game system that's a little bit smaller than full AOS. It's just a bit cumbersome sometimes. But yeah, I'm totes excited for it. The models are amazing. Right now,
I hope they have rules for AOS with them.
I have very little doubt that they will. Although I don't know, because Necromunda doesn't have rules for 40k. Now that I think about it. I guess it depends on how much of that business model they want to transfer over. So, let's see. Here we go. I might have to get you and Mark to Zenithal highlight all my stuff from Future for contrast. This is amazing looking.
Yeah, that's awesome. Why did you like it?
Necromunda is a bad example. I don't think so. Skirmish-based game set in the same universe. That's not necessarily. We don't know what Warcry is. It is just as good an example as Shadespire. All right. Let's see. What I would like, though, is for if they do anything like they do with Necromunda, is when so like GW releases the kit, and then Forge World puts out like alternate bits to make them like legit, like super personalized and all that stuff. I like that kind of stuff. I'm a sucker for it.
Did you ever play Necromunda?
Yeah, back in the day I did.
What was your
As
gang of choice?
the religious zealot ones, I can't remember their name right now, but yeah, because they had these like crazy looking masks. I mean, well, I guess you kind of had to put your own either like back in the day, but yeah. So they just had this cool angle where it's like they worship the emperor so much that everyone's kind of a heretic and they act as the church on the planet. So I don't know. Oh, that was cool.
That's cool. I think I bought a few models in the '90s, like when they had the Ku Klux Klan hoods. I had a
Yeah,
few of those guys, but
yeah, yeah. That was them.
like let's see, I've a third party game, or not third party, but games that aren't the main ones, the offshoot games. I think my favorite ever is Warhammer Quest, like the original Warhammer Quest from the '90s. Oh, we played that a ton. I played a little bit of Necromunda, not Necromunda, but Mordheim,
Yeah.
and a little bit of Blood Bowl, and it was just, this is an expensive hobby to try to like, oh, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. Like, it's one of the reasons why I don't play 40K, because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a whole nother thing. Plus, it's like another rule set to learn, and it's just like, I don't have to. I barely paint the stuff I have. Now I'm going to get more.
No, that's I mean that's a legit consideration for sure. Like so I'm trying to look for smaller games to kind of like just supplement what I normally do. And so I'm jumping into Kill Team and Underworlds. And so I was at the store yesterday and I was like, I could very easily grab a full Death Guard army right now. And I was like, but why? I don't want that. Like I don't want that right now. I got so much going on. So and then I decided like, well, let's skip that. Um and we'll just grab a few things for Kill Team so I can hang out with my buddy Ben. That's it. That's it. It's like done. Sold.
You want to talk about the price increases?
Sure, sure. We can do that. That's been a reoccurring theme of the week. So if you guys aren't aware, GW announced. Oh, they didn't announce. It's been leaked. Um, that they're doing some price increases on the 8th, I believe.
Yep. So yeah, in a few days.
Yep. And the salt has flowed thick.
Oh, yeah. Like it's funny, and like because I'm in a couple chats for Warhammer, and man, some people it's like I think I got a text last night. It was at 4 a.m. Like skeleton warriors are going from $25 to $30. What the hell? And I'm like, do you look at gas prices? It's like $1.80 maybe a year and a half ago. Now it's up to 380. That's what I'm concerned about. Not like to me, I just read it as an extremely expensive hobby stayed extremely expensive.
Yep.
And like I think people who pay $110 for a bloodthirster will probably pay $140 for a bloodthirster.
Yep.
If you're that angry about it, there are recasters, which I don't I'm not recommending go out there, but it's just like, you know, it's already an expensive hobby. And
Yep.
they're they're a publicly traded company, which means they have to keep going up. So stuff's not gonna get cheaper.
No.
So I don't know. I just didn't. The outrage just didn't. I'm like, you guys live in a different world where, candy bars still cost a nickel like they did when you're.
Yeah, the idea was brought up that like it makes the game harder to get into for new people, and if that happens, then we go back to where we were before, where it was kind of like the dark times of GW. Um, things were just rough for several years. If you're new, you wouldn't know that, but the company was just non-responsive, and it was very hard to get into because in fantasy battles you needed like 400 spearmen to start, that kind of stuff.
It's probably like one of the reasons why I'm not so upset is because I was gone for the dark, dark, dark days.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like this is just kind of new to me. And
Um,
like I'm sure people are afraid of another recession. I guess in GW.
GW recession.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, this is gonna, caused the depression again, the Great GW Depression, where the universes and whatnot. But
Yeah.
so optimistic. I'm not like a chicken little glass half empty kind of guy. I definitely try to be positive.
Totally. I don't know. I just my usual comebacks are like, well, they got to do what they got to do. They got, like you said, shareholders. It's absolutely true. And then in addition, like, let's say that did happen again. That means other companies have a chance to come back. I mean, like, my goodness, every other company that makes miniature games right now is like on the rails, as it were, holding on for dear life because GW is just dominating the miniature games.
This can cause other companies to come up, and
Yep,
competition is good.
competition is in fact good. We wouldn't have the company we had now if we weren't going other places for a little while to get better responses from a game company. I don't know. Yeah, I mean honestly, and like I know it hurts some factions more than others, and I don't want to like disparage that. It's just I don't know. It didn't strike me as like a big deal, but I get more upset with like we'll call them news websites that
Name names.
huh
Name names, son.
like several Balls article, Battle Lost Souls if you're not familiar with it, and then Spiky Bits, just like I don't know, I feel like stoke anxiety and that kind of stuff.
You mean Spiky Bits? The click. They have this one topic, right? Spiky Bits headline. I don't care. I'll say it. It was like gone or like double turns are gone, right? And I'm like, and that was the title. And I'm like, oh crap, they're getting rid of double turns because this is right when GHB was like 2017, I think, or 18 was
Yeah,
coming
second
out.
edition. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, awesome, they get rid of double turns. And I click it, and it's because they changed the engine of the gods, and so you can no longer get a double turn like immediately. That's what the article was. But
Yep.
they let with double turns are
Yeah,
gone,
they got you good.
and I'm like, you mother. Right, I'm texting my brother. I'm like, because he's not a big fan of him. I'm like, they finally did it, and it's because they changed. And I'm like, you could,
And of course, he's a Seraphon player. He's like, "What?"
and I was just like, word. That's how you got to make your money. Enjoy. Now I just won't go to your website anymore.
and also, you should defrag your computer for scan it for viruses. Oh, that's funny. I know, like they do more than just clickbait stuff. They have a few painting shows, which people find value in. And it's cool if you do enjoy it, live, laugh, love, whatever. But yeah,
Oh,
the clickbait stuff, I'm like,
Bradley was saying like when blister packs went from 650 to 750 in the 90s, it was doom and gloom then too. So I guess it's just a cycle.
yep,
Comes up, people say it's the end of the world, and then they keep buying their stuff. But there has been depressions before, so I guess
mm-hmm,
shall see. If it's too expensive, don't buy it. I guess
yep.
definitely if you can't afford stuff,
Don't put
don't
yourself in debt over it.
to play this hobby. Is I think people forget that it's a hobby and it becomes
A bill, yeah.
like this is supposed you're supposed to do it in your off time. Like I think I have that problem where I'm like I'm too much AOS focused just because of the channel and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I gotta make sure I do things that are not AOS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I mean, that's kind of I've been like that for a little while. I mean, that's what part of this stuff is as well, but also like I discovered that I love Far Cry 5, the video game. It's awesome. That kind of stuff. Just doing something else balances me out.
Yep.
Let's try to think. What else is in the news recently we could chat about?
Well, it's been slow for AOS, which is kind of nice. Gives you a
Yeah.
break. Apocalypse, which is more 40K stuff, which I think Gathering of Might, right, is kind of like Apocalypse for AOS.
Yep.
And it's amazing they get a whole release for a section in the GHB. It's big. It's a whole big, huge release. Like, you couldn't have done the same thing in one of the what are they called? Chapter tactics?
Chapter
Is that what
approved, yeah.
the chapter proof?
Jack, 40k players need to feel special. Okay,
Okay.
I'm just. I say as I'm getting into 40k, I'm allowed to make fun of myself.
Like if the listeners and stuff have noticed, Doug goes through cycles. This is what I figured it out. Okay, he buys an AOS army, buys an AOS army, sells an AOS army, gets back into 40k, sells an AOS army, buys the AOS army, sells 40k army, and then rinse and repeat.
It's fun merry-go-round. Yeah, I mean, what's really funny that I've enjoyed this last week was I saw it at least 4 times on various Facebook groups of people saying like, "Man, I wish AOS had like an apocalypse version," and like nobody just read that section of the entire lot, and so I was like, "Dude."
Let's see. So, Boss Slag wants to throw down sometimes. Do you live in the Seattle area? I'll play on next week. I'm not doing anything on Thursday.
Yeah. You can meet Jack the same way that I met Jack, where he beats you into dust.
The tournament army for next Saturday. So
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Oh, Bremerton.
oh, okay. I'm supposed to go. Yeah, Doug was just over there.
Yep.
I need to head over there, but not a lot of time.
Yeah, it's one of those really awkward places where it's like it's not technically far, like in the geographic sense, but it's very inconvenient for like it's kind of ends up being a day trip, and it's like 15 miles away. Let's see. I like losing. More fun that way. That's funny. Yes, I brought a narrative list to my game against Jack, and I got crushed.
It was cool looking though. It was Hollow Knights.
It was in fact cool looking. They looked so cool. I took them off the table and put them off to the side.
The funniest part is how nervous I was because I was like, "Oh man, he's gonna kick the crap out of me."
Oh, when we were playing?
Yeah,
No, first met, I mean? Yeah.
because that was maybe like my fourth or fifth game.
Oh, of AOS ever?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I know that.
Maybe like, but it was you're the second person I played besides my brother, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I brought a knife to a gunfight and it didn't pan out. Let's see.
So how was the Khorgus Khul book?
Red Feast. It was legit. Um, yeah, I have good and positive and critical things, we'll say. But overall, I thought it was a pretty darn good read.
Was it Josh Reynolds?
No, this one was Gav Thorpe, who I thought mostly did 40k stuff. As far as I mean, I don't know a lot of his AOS stuff. If he does, it was great. Like, it kind of so like if you don't know the story, you can go crack open your core book, and take a look at like the history of the Realm of Fire. And all it says is like some event happened during a tournament, like a I don't know, a gladiatorial tournament type thing, and there enough blood was spilled and corn came in. It was just very basic stuff. And then you actually read the story, and it's like Khorne straight up like demon possesses a dude twice. We know Khorgus before he has the name Khorgus. He's Athol. The Khul tribe's background, and they fight some beastmen, and it activates like a weird rune thing. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff, and it just kind of keeps growing and building until stuff kind of hits like a critical mass and just kind of blows up in a really cool way.
Right.
So, actually, we'll be doing a review of that, like my actual live review, on Saturday morning. I was going to do it last week, but we had some scheduling issues, so got delayed a little bit. That's all right. So, yeah, it was. I mean, I would recommend it. It was written very well. Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
yeah. So, one of the guys on Twitch, Taps, asks, "How do you and your brother like the new Seraphon spells and points and everything?"
Yeah, love him. Big fan. Big fan. It's nice because the way he runs Seraphon like just very dinosaur heavy, which is fun to watch. You know, he has he runs 2 Old Bloods on Carnosaurs, like the Sunfang, like Sunclaw Star Host, and the not Dracothian's Tail, the other one, where you get +3 to your movement first turn, and he does the thing where he just dumps 4 command points into his Old Blood on Carnosaur's command ability, so every Saurus hero gets +2 attacks, and then kind of runs in with the Sword of Judgment and like all these things. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening, but it's fun. It's definitely a just a run forward, smash your opponent type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in the world now where you can be made to attack last and all this stuff, it definitely, it's like it's not gonna, it can be fun, but it can be frustrating because it can be just one sided. He's a fan of the teleport being it's not random anymore. Where hey, it can be either very good or awful. Now it's just good.
Yep.
And he's a big fan of that. I am too. The spells are expensive, which is cool. I like the idea that they can switch spells every round, which is really cool. But
hold on, pause. When you say expensive, do you mean like a high casting value, or do you mean like the wizards?
2 of them are 8 to cast.
Oh, okay.
They don't have any innate bonuses to cast, so it's kind of like, I could maybe see them in the future being able to, when they get a rule book, that maybe they get a bonus to cast if they're within certain range of the astrolith, or maybe reroll casting rolls if you're within a certain range of a terrain feature or something. And so that was good. The changes to Razor Dawns and Salamanders is kind of cool because it's like you get a discount now. So if you buy a pack of 3, you used to be able to get them in packs of 4, I believe, but now just 3. And so it makes them 10 points cheaper, I think, or each if you get the discount, which is also nice because with the teleport, it's guaranteed. And so you can teleport a pack outside of 9 and then teleport a handlers or move handlers within range. So you're guaranteed to get those shots off, if that made any sense. But yeah, we're big fans of the changes for Seraphon. I'm just can't wait for our books to see in their final form.
Yeah.
Or
I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I got to actually look at the spell lore for Ironjaws last night. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. Any teleport stuff is great. This is a game about movement and being able to pick up a unit and put them outside of 9 somewhere is very big.
Yeah.
Especially if like Ironjaws get +1 to charge, so you're charging on 8 instead of a 9.
Yep.
And if you have that banner for the Ard Boys, they get +2 to charge. So what you're charging like a 6?
6. Yep.
But then again, once you get there with Ard Boys, it's kind of like they're not doing a ton of damage.
No, but they pin you down for the other stuff to come in. You can also use cogs to get that to be a 4-inch charge.
True.
I don't necessarily advocate that, but I like that it's an option.
Yeah, Cogs went up 20, which I'm still gonna take them with my Slanesh.
Oh yeah. And why wouldn't you? They're great. Even at 20 or 20 extra, I mean. Especially if like, I mean, 20 points didn't make much of a difference if your army is already about speed, just getting a little bit more of it, please. That's a great deal. Okay. Let's see. Hand of Gork. Yeah, that's what we used last night. It's pretty cool.
I think you Davis MMA 125. What's up again, dude? The questions are submitted in the post that Shu did on the YouTube channel. If you just put it in the comments, a question that you have, we're gonna record that thing today, the AMA.
Woo.
So we're gonna do a sketch and do that, and probably get the video out Friday. Depends on Mark.
Yeah, it's all that guy's fault if it doesn't work.
Yeah. Everything good, it's my fault. Everything bad is Mark's fault.
Exactly, yeah.
And Brent, he kind of just floats around.
Some of the stuff's his fault, some of it's not. It's whatever.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, when did you guys announce that? I didn't even see that.
Maybe Monday.
Right on.
You should do one of those.
I might. I'll wait some time because I want you guys to have your time in the sun, reaching 10K. Proud of you.
It's always a surprise when you see the number of views and the people that people are into stuff. They're like, oh, this is awesome that people dig what you do.
Totally.
And then I've noticed this with both our channels, like, because you're about 10,000 ahead of us. When you get to a point where you're casting a wide enough net where you're going to get people who hate you.
Yep.
Whatever you're about, they actually you're anathema to them. They just can't stand you. You're like, oh, okay. But usually it's all positive, but you're going to get people who just don't vibe. They're not on your wavelength, and whatever you do is bad. It's like, okay, but I just, you ain't paying my bills, man. I don't.
Thanks for the watch time. Yeah, no. Yeah, there was like a 2-week spread where, like, I don't know, I just got flooded with people who just despised Age of Sigmar, and anyone who likes it is obviously an idiot. And you're like, dude, the fact that you know about this hobby means you're also a nerd with no life. So just chill.
Yeah. You know way too much about something you hate.
That's funny. It was when I put out that the story thus far, the video. For the first week or two, YouTube was like, I'm going to show this to everyone who likes Age of Sigmar. And then I was like, I'm going to show this to everyone who likes Warhammer and Games Workshop. And that was a bad idea. Let's see. What is the General's Handbook exactly? A rules update. The General's Handbook is a kind of a supplement that comes out annually, and it gives you different battle plans to play. So cool missions for match play and narrative and open play. So the match play stuff, the big focus is the fact that it has points. If there's any points updates going on, it'll be there. For folks like myself, who that's kind of a secondary thing. For me, the big focus is that every General's Handbook has different narrative stuff in there. So here's how you can recreate a story with these cool tools, and I like that stuff. So it'd be like this GHB's big thing is the city fighting, which I don't know. Brent tried it. It looks cool.
Yeah, yeah. This GHB had just a lot of stuff. Mercenaries got introduced, which I've every game I played so far I've used or been fought against mercenaries, and I initially I was like, oh, this is dumb. Like, there's still stuff I don't agree. Uh, like chaos spawn in a stormcast army. I don't know how you can explain that one away. Okay, I get it. Okay, marauders can be barbarians, but a chaos giant, chaos spawns. That doesn't make any sense. They should.
That's
I
the
think
line.
they should have a little more restrictions on who can take what. Which it doesn't have to be everybody. But it's like, why are we fighting this war if we're teaming up now?
Yeah, not always a home run with all the supplementary stuff, but it's there if you want it.
Yeah. It's time for the null oil.
You. Whoop whoop. I can't think of honestly any faction really wanting a spawn now besides like Beast of Chaos. You can already have it. Okay. Let's see. So each new release, does each new General's Handbook override the other one? With match play scenarios that are currently in use, yes. But if you do the narrative stuff, I still look at my old GHB. Like they just put different fun things in there for you, so it's not a waste if you care about more than match play.
Yeah, I think the only thing that overrides is points. Points changes, but you can use the plans or whatever. Just say this is the battle plan we're using.
Sure.
But yeah, points is the only thing that has to change.
Yep.
And rules and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you get more value out of the book for sure if you're open to all different kinds of play. I don't think that's a secret. But yep.
I can tell you, I enjoy the game more with the General's Handbook. So if you're on the fence about buying it, I say hop over the fence and get the book.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great resource. Even if no matter what kind of stuff you like, there's just cool stuff in there. If I save 50 points with the new GHB, I can take a Purple Sun with my Zinch. Do it. Zinch Purple Sun is a thing.
Purple Sun's it's definitely it halved its points. It went from 100 to 50. That's a big drop. You kind of want to ask the play testers from last year, like, what were you guys thinking?
Yeah, I know, yeah. GW just releases a press statement. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Really sorry about that. I know you already sold all your Purple Suns on eBay, but this was clearly an oversight.
People were fired. Heads rolled.
Yeah, that's funny. Do you have any endless spells that you use quite regularly?
Just cogs. Like, it's the only endless spell I've painted. But like, honestly, I don't, because a lot of I play Corn. They don't have spells. I have Fire Slayers. Don't really have spells. Iron Jaws. I have a wizard who has one cast. And now that he has his own spells, it's like. So I have the endless spells, but they're just sitting in a box unput together besides cogs.
Yep. I'd say cogs is definitely one of the more fun ones because it has the most utility to me.
It just
changes the game state
faster. I get to where I'm like, it's speed it up. Heck, sometimes when you play with open war cards and you get the one where everybody gets like +2 movement, I'm like, yes, we can get this. Get this going. Quit all this pussyfooting around.
Let's see. Blurby Bugger says, I'm so glad to find you guys. Needed a lore fix after being burned out with lore channels that went off the deep end and went into political cough, arch cough.
Yeah, I enjoy Arch's older stuff because you can sit and just like, especially like the hour and a half of lore. You're like, oh, this is good. It's like I've listened to a movie, but like, I think he just became a caricature of himself, in my opinion, and just like I don't need to know, your feelings about the Jews, man. Let me just tell me about Carl Franz, man.
Tell me about Carl Franz. I will say he was absolutely.
Be Space Marines. All right, please just tell me about some. Keep it going. Keep it going. I don't need to know your political agenda.
He was super instrumental in getting me into the hobby back in the day, for sure. And he took his channel a different direction. And I was like, nope, not for me. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't like dislike him. I'm just like, I wish you would have just kept that out of it.
Yeah.
And he like me and Doug were talking about this. He mentioned maybe doing Age of Sigmar lore in the future.
Mm-hmm.
His fans rebelled.
Yeah, the comment section of that one was pretty. Because he was like, he gave it. I thought a very fair look. He's like, it's come a long way since it was released, and was talking about the GHB. I was like, okay, this is cool. And then he said yeah, at some point in the future, I might cover it once the lore gets deeper. I was like, that is a very reasonable response. And then looked in the comment section, his followers were just like, never. I was like, oh yeah, that's what you get for stoking fear and hatred. And it's like the thing from the movie Super Troopers, right? Our shenanigans are good and pure. His shenanigans are evil and mean. Evil shenanigans. Let's see. Carl Franz is Celestin Prime. Much juice. Let's see. If you could add a mercenary list to AOS, what would it be?
Mercenary unit?
Like just the kind of have the little almost battalion type things where it's like a hero and whatever like that. If you could make a one with yourself, what would you make?
Stormcast, like the who have been reforged too much. So they're like automatons.
I do like that. That's a good idea. I was gonna say lightning geists, something like that, because that was in Soul Wars, and I thought, oh, that's the coolest thing. They did the biggest one that I wanted, which was just, frankly, just zombies.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Just a necromancer and zombies he summoned.
Yep. I don't know why. I just really dig that.
I really can't wait till the GoTrek model gets released.
Are you a big GoTrek fan?
Yeah. Like he's one of the he reminds me of my childhood, like being a kid, like
being 3 foot tall with a huge beard.
No, just the original GoTrek and Felix. I just for some reason I thought they were the coolest thing, and my brother had them, and I thought that was the coolest thing where this dwarf has a human, like Robin, a little sidekick. And I'm like, that is so cool, and yeah.
Now, did they have models back in the day?
Yep.
That's
So
cool.
for third and fourth, mostly fourth edition. Fourth edition. We bought stuff when third edition was out, but we started playing when fourth edition came out.
Okay.
When we were buying stuff as a kid, mom would get it for us. We didn't know what they were or whatever, but fourth edition they actually released that big box with the high elves and the orcs and goblins on the front, and then that's kind of when we actually started getting rule books and figuring out, oh, this is a game that you can play.
Mm-hmm.
And he had GoTrek and Felix. But my brother kind of makes up his own names for stuff, and of course, as a kid, you just go with whatever your older brother says. And so he called him Gortrek, instead of GoTrek. And so I was like, oh, there's an R there, dude. There's no R there. You're adding an R.
That's funny. That must have been a fun argument. I could just see Josh. Well, I'm going to call it what I'm going to call it.
I think it's cooler this way. I'm like, but that's not what it is.
But he has an actual name, dude. That's funny. Yeah, I remember when I first figured out that like, oh, this is a game. People like play with these things. That's cool. Let's see. As far as sorry, I never actually answered the question. As far as war bands I'd want to create. Yeah, they got my biggest one with the Necromancer. I'm trying to think of anything else. I wanted more from Free Guild, to be honest with you.
It's not just the Outriders, kind of like maybe like if they were use a free guild company, but they're like smugglers or pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig that. Scourge Privateers.
Oh yeah. No. Well, yeah, it's a great one. Just hire some pirates to move your stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Smuggling. I like that. That's a good idea. We're going to answer your question and go with that. Let's see. James Valdez. Question: how would you rate the new Ironjaw spells on a 1 to 6? Why 1 to 6? Oh, you mean in order? I don't know. I don't have my book in front of me.
My favorite one is the teleport one because, like, again, teleportation. I mean, movement is it can win you games. And then, yeah, I'd have to look at the books, but that one to me is the best one.
For sure. Let's
And
see.
you can only take one. I'd say take that one. That one and Pumping Foot, you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, so like the 40k orcs have a teleport spell, and it's, I mean, it defines what that list can do, kind of thing, like being able to Chucky in it. Guest appearance. Everybody say hi, Jess. Hi, Jess. Hi. She's camera shy.
I'll be back, my friends.
Okay. Yeah, if y'all have questions, please go ahead and ask. We're just chilling, just doing a little painting roo, but whole point is to hang out with folks. I'll go actually to the downward cam here while Jack's away. 2+ Jess. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is so for this cape that I'm working on, I did, where is it at? A Callian green contrast paint. And this whole thing is Zenithal, which I love now. So I did Callian green, and then I did a thinned out layer of Temple Guard to kind of catch the edges there. And now I'm just kind of doing a little bit of stippling with Fenrisian gray, and that's kind of making the extreme edges of this sucker really pop. And that's kind of my thing with clothing, right? With this nice, what's nice about the Shadespire models, these nice intense, like folds in the fabric, so it makes it really easy to pick stuff out. So that's all we are doing. I got it super watered down, probably more water than I should have. And we're just going around the edges and flicking it. And that is popping real good. Oh man, it looks great on camera. Let's see. How's the contrast? Contrast is an interesting thing. As Jack said earlier, don't think of it as, when they kept marketing it, they kept marketing it as like contrast or other stuff. And I think that's just the wrong way to approach it. I think the correct idea or mindset to have is contrast and other stuff. Like just the two. There's no reason that they don't work in tandem. And so that's definitely definitely kind of guides my thoughts here. So like contrast, I use it as a base and a wash, but I then go over it with all the things that I was doing before. It just saves time with that specific step. For some things, like the yellow on this armor, it would take me forever. I would just be doing layers upon layers. This is contrast, and then I did an edge highlight with Avalorn Sunset. Done. So, yeah, I like that kind of stuff. I think it panned out really well. Back. Okay. What's been your favorite, I don't know, effects you've gotten with contrast lately?
Effects. I like the black. I really like. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still having. I was super in on them when I was painting my corn judgments and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, these are amazing."
Yeah, which look great, by the way.
What's that?
They look great.
Oh, thank you. And then when I tried them on like lighter colors and trying to kind of go all in, and it's funny, like the Fire Slayer, the Fire Slayer paint. Like these Fire Slayers must be from the side of Akshi because it is a dark skin tone. And so I was like, and yeah, just like I have the white I need to try out. I'm gonna give this one a go. Apothecary white. Definitely looks great.
What looks great?
The Apothecary white.
Yeah, it's not white. What I think the closest GW paint equivalent, like the layer paint, is Ulthuan gray, which is the kind of their lightest. It's up there with the lightest grays. I'm not sure if it's the exact one, but which I mean it works for me because like my white robes and my Stormcast, that's what it is. I do Ulthuan gray and then I do an edge highlight of White Scar, and when you do that, that'll make the white really pop. I don't know if you wanted all the information, but I just gave it to you. One trick that I saw someone do online that I'm going to try to do here. I'm just going to do it on one guy, see if I like it. But basically, he took the medium. I'll go to the downward cam here. Took the medium with a brush and applied it all over the legs, kind of going upward. And the medium just dries clear by itself. And then you take a brown and you paint like the very base of the foot and pull it upward so it blends itself into the medium as it goes up. And that's how you can make cool blends and dirty feet and that kind of stuff. So I thought was pretty cool.
I'll just ask this for you and people in the chat, right?
Go for it.
How much effort do you put into stuff that you can't see that well? Like, so this guy, for instance, this Excelsior War Priest, this is what he looks like. Oh, never mind, the camera's down here. This is what he looks like without his head and cloak. Now, I kind of painted his back, but this is what he looks like with his cloak on. It's like, okay. See anything. And now, so I'm like, do I even try to paint that stuff? It's good, right? I'm like,
the stuff behind his cloak?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't care.
Yeah. It's a good call.
Like, I mean, the only reason I painted the butt on my Glotkin is because the guy I got it in a trade from took the flag that was supposed to cover his crack. Like, if you can't see it, it don't matter.
Oh, White Scar is useful for edge highlighting.
Yeah, that's what I do. I can show you. So, like, I tried doing a Stormcast in if my color scheme, the Celestial Vindicators with only contrast, and I didn't like the Achillean blue. It doesn't show up well on like big smooth surfaces like armor, but it does great on that fabric that I just showed everybody. But the white was huge. That's gonna be a huge time saver because I use Primate White, do the Apothecary White, and edge highlight of White Scar, and it looks reasonably very close to what I was doing before.
Gotcha.
with
Cool.
like an eighth of the time. Let's see. Don't paint it would be too dark with shadows in real life anyway. That's true.
Good point. Good point. I'm sold on not painting it.
3 foot fabulous.
Yeah, this is another guy I'm painting for the Lethis army. Another question. All right.
Go for it.
On his war scroll, he comes with a Gryph-hound, right?
Yes.
And the Gryph-hound he comes with is this little baby one on a 25 mil base. Because I got him from for he was in Silver Tower.
Okay.
But a Gryph-hound in the book, the Gryph-hound comes on a 40 mil, and it's the Stormcast one. So in a match play game, do I just use the big one?
I am the wrong person to ask about match play stuff. I would just tell your opponent that and just play. This is the base he came with. I don't.
No, because I'd rather use the big one because that way I don't have to paint that little tiny thing.
Then go for that. I see arguments both ways, right? Because like the argument for using the smaller one to me makes just as much sense as like, well, yeah, it's a Gryph-hound. This is the unit. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm sure someone in the comments here will have a thought on that. I think more common wisdom is to go with the bigger one because that's what is on the war scroll. But I just don't like the idea of like buying something and then the base size is wrong. It just really irritates me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Question, Jack. Thoughts on Scarbrand? Have you used him? Is he worth the points?
Oh yeah, man. I've used him a couple times, especially if you buff him up with like a Bloodsecrator and some Wrathmongers or something like that, where you have the potential to do, I don't know what's 16 times 3 mortal wounds.
Yeah, 18.
And so that potential, and he's going to do 8 minimum, but you have a chance to do 16. And so if he has the Bloodsecrator banner, that's 16 mortal wounds. And so fan of him, he is slow, especially for a size 8-inch movement, can't fly, so he can get stuck behind stuff. But if I could definitely see taking him as a third Bloodthirster in the Tyrants of Blood, or what's it called? The Bloodthirster War Scroll Battalion. I can see taking him as the third Bloodthirster because he just had all you need is Bloodthirsters with the Bloodthirster keyword, which he has.
Yeah.
So I actually like him. I need to pay him up. He has his like the base black skin on him. That's how long he's been there. But yeah, I need to finish him. I need to finish. This guy's like 99% done. But like he was going to be part of the Firestorm campaign we were going to do, but that fell. We ended up not doing that, and so I have this Tzeentch guy. I have a decent amount of Tzeentch stuff, but I have a decent amount of Beast Claw Raiders. I have a Closet of Shame that is coming down. It's getting better.
Exactly. But, yeah. Well, what you do is you give it to me. I paint it and give it back to you, and then it goes back in the closet, but it's not part of the shame anymore. Yeah, because it's painted.
They become, studio armies. We don't have a studio, but they're just for the channel, And I think there's stuff where you're like, we need to add stuff. Like we have 9 Gore Gruntas sitting unpainted at Mark's. Yep. He said he's going to paint them, which no pressure if you watch this, Mark. But it's like you kind of don't want to play Ironjaw sometimes because there's nothing new to it. So he's like. And that's why I dig Mercenaries because there's always something new.
Yep, it's true. Well, and the barrier to trying something new and fun is just so low. You know what I mean? You can just grab a Stark. Grab a Stark Lightning Box. That's a great mercenary force for Flesh Eater Courts. It's like just do that. Like, that's super fun.
Yeah, there was a little backlash, and I was like, "Word." That's kind of. Because I was thinking more of a competitive thing and a lore thing, but it's been 150, 200 years since the Realm Gates Wars. there's going to be some crossover and lots more shades of gray.
Yep. Which I like. I like that kind of stuff.
Or I'd like to see the Skaven like force for mercenaries.
Oh, really?
Or what if every Shadespire warband could be taken as mercenaries, and you like you're paying them shade glass or whatever.
That'd be legit. There's no reason not to. They're not going to have that big of an impact. I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, I wish there was better ways to include them than just like a smaller version of an existing unit. Because it's like, well, I guess Khorne's a bad example. I was going to say, like, what are you going to do with like 4 Blood Reavers? But it's a Blood type point. I'm trying to think. Are there any Shadespire or Underworlds warbands that are good in AOS? The Skaven one's not bad. He's just a Claw Lord with a cool other mechanic.
There's some I haven't like looked into too much. Like the ones I have, like you said, they were just I was using them as cheap blood type points.
Yeah.
But
Which, I mean, not to like underestimate that. That's huge for Khorne.
I'm curious how good the Stormcast one that has like evocators, that like the Sacrosanct one, but I haven't looked too much into it. Are you gonna get Night Vault?
Oh, I already did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
What did that come with?
Hmm?
Which ones did that come with?
That came with a Night Haunt band and the Evocator guys.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yep.
I'd like to play the new one with you.
Yeah. I haven't found a good tutorial online for like how the magic works, but I assume it's not that complicated. But yeah, actually,
Two things of plastic glue somewhere on my desk, and I'm like,
isn't that the most annoying thing in the world when you're like, it's here?
just right here.
Blood Reavers are great. I mean, I'm really sorry for each one of the dudes, but there's no real chance they survive any game. But having Blood Tides is sweet. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I would. For when I used them, I would just sit them next to, which you can't really do anymore because you can only cast a prayer once. But I would use them for my blood sacrifice back in last edition.
Yeah, I remember that. Just nuking your own dudes.
Yeah. And so, like, you have the potential to get 4 blood tithe points, 3 from sacking the unit, and then 1 for the unit dying. And that's all for 60 points.
And you can't do that anymore? Did they change it? You can only do a prayer once?
Yeah. You can't cast any of the prayers from the books. You only can get off once.
Okay.
Because I used to run like a blood sacrifice build.
Would you? So that was your first game last night with the Book of Khorne, the new Book of Khorne. What'd you think?
I like it. It doesn't seem too powerful. It has the potential to fight in the the activation wars, as it's called. So it has a little, but not overwhelming like Slaanesh or anything. And I think it's a solid army, and it's Khorne is as complicated as you want to make it. You can get all the weird bells and whistles, or you can just get basic.
Run forward.
Which is nice. It's nice having a variety where, with, for instance, Flesh Eater Courts, you only got a couple things. Iron Jaws, you only got a few units. Where Stormcast and Khorne, you got just a buffet of stuff you can take, and you can never play the same army twice almost.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely adds to the depth of the faction for sure. Let's see. I hate Blood Reavers. I'd rather use Corn Furies. I might just take one to sacrifice the Blood Tithe. Yeah, it's Well, first of all, I'm really excited to see how Furies turn out with the new Warcry because they're coming out with new ones. But yeah, I don't know. I remember like when AOS first started, they were like, "Oh my gosh, just take a whole mess of Blood Reavers and just flood the board." And then everyone pretty much realized really quickly, like, that's not a lot of fun.
The thing with Blood Reavers is how detail intensive they are for just a cheap battle line arm like thing, where it's like, you almost hope it'd be like Plague Bearers, which are like slap some paint on there and they're done.
Yep.
Do you use the app, the painting app,
Like ever?
the Citadel color paint app? Does anybody in the chat use this, or do you use it, Doug?
Yeah, I use it all the time.
I love it. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's I use it a lot for basing tutorials. Which probably hurts Vince Manchella's ears to hear that, but it's a good starting point. Beyond that, yeah, a lot of it is like the color range has become so big that I can't keep track of it all. So like, tell me what's a good highlight for this. I don't want to learn color theory. I don't want to just.
I don't want to learn the wheel and all this stuff. Just tell me what to do.
Exactly. Carrick Stone, done, sold, bye. So that's pretty much where I am as a hobbyist, though. Where I'm like, I want to be good enough to create cool effects, but the amount of time I'll spend like on education, so to speak, like in terms of like bettering myself as a person, nah, time for that.
Give me that 3 foot fabulous.
Yeah, exactly. Which I mean, it makes it sound like I don't care about painting, which obviously I do. I paint quite a bit. I enjoy it a lot. But like, it's it's one of those things like you can have those parts of the hobby that it's okay to just not be interested in getting better at. Because I paint because it relaxes me. And that's it. That's enough.
I kind of equate it to like when I was doing stand up really like aggressively.
Yeah.
I was good at the stuff that I had natural talent in, because there's talent and then there's hard work.
Yep.
And where it's like, okay, this is the talent I have, and I'm happy with the paint level I'm at. Kind of that's the talent level I have. Where I'm decent coordination, decent hand eye, and whatnot. But as far as like the hard stuff, which is like school, I'm not where you're learning techniques and like that. And like, so for comedy, the hard stuff was, timing out your set, knowing how long your jokes last, listening to every set you do, all that stuff. I was like, but if I got on stage, I could be charismatic and funny and all that stuff. That's easy. It's just part of the personality. But the hard stuff was like, I'm writing for mileage for gigs so I can write it off and all that stuff. I'm like, it's all right.
Let's see. Slight change of perspective. What's everyone chatting about? Give me 1 second. Oh, it's because my camera's pointing. I want to do this. I can't really adjust. Give me 1 second. Let me figure this out. Okay, we're going to go to the downward cam here while I work on this other thing. Give me just a moment, everybody. Yeah, no. So it's interesting to like, I don't know. I like will like spend a lot of time looking at like how can I get better at the game, right? Because I want to be like a good player and that kind of stuff. But when it comes to hobby, I'm like, I think the most I've ever done was that chat with Vince about just like basing, because I don't like basing, and he made it very easy. But that's the most that I will pretty much ever do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay.
Well, I got a cool announcement to say.
Please,
Uh,
I'm working on camera stuff, so please go do.
what was that?
Oh, I'm working on
No.
my camera thing, so please talk.
So speaking of Vince, the whole Rerolling Ones crew is going to be on Warhammer Weekly on the 27th. So
Woot!
that's going to be cool. And yeah, I guess that didn't take as long as you were hoping, probably. But yeah, we're excited. We don't know what the topic is going to be yet, but hopefully it's something we're decently knowledgeable about. That'd be cool.
Yeah, he's pretty great about at choosing topics, I think. Um, I've certainly enjoyed every time that I've been on.
You're up to 3 times or 4?
What am I up to? I think I'm up to 3.
Cool, cool.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do my best. We'll get a change of perspective with the downward cam. I'll make a new setting here. Let's take a look. How's that look? It looks all right. We can still see Jack on the side. Cool.
Yep.
Let me know if that's any better. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. Bunch of iron jaws for Shadespire. Well, I guess it's Warhammer Underworlds, but yeah. Let's see. We'll do some Agrex Earthshade. Now it's the fun part where I get to just put all the wash on all the weapons and armor, the metal. It really is the best part of all this.
Yeah. It's just like, ooh, I just have highlight left. This is gonna be awesome. But I have to base this guy after.
What do you base him as? Oh, he made it in your Stormcast, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you're good.
It's pretty. It's actually not too hard. Not too bad.
Sweet. With these guys, I'm going to do a little bit of rust effect on the weapons with some Typhus Corrosion and Rise of Rust. And then I think it's just the face after that. Faces. So, what are your plans for the 4th?
I'm going to go shoot fireworks with my kids at some point, which I need to check. See
Let's see. By the way, the sketch at the beginning of the last bat rep was awesome. Got some compliments on that. Which one was that? Is that the Vince one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. But there's like, it's funny. It was like there was a scene that got cut, and I wish would have used that one instead of another one. It's behind the scenes, you're like sometimes you're not as happy as you should be, or like you feel it could have been better. I was like, I wish we would have did another take, but sometimes you're in a rush.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I drove quite a while to.
Oh no, I'm talking about the part where me and Shu are kind of looking at videos and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
He did perfectly fine. He's very appreciative.
He's a cool dude. Let's see. Everyone in the chat, what are y'all working on while we're sitting here hobbying and just kind of meandering? I'm in that weird place where I'm always constantly looking to make sure I didn't miss something. Now, let's see. Oh, James Valdez asked a question. Did you ever work Warhammer into your stand-up routine?
No. I did Comic-Con a couple times. I think I did 3 years in a row. And it's like it's very niche. Like not a lot of people know about Warhammer, so it's easier to talk about like Star Trek and stuff that's a little more.
Yeah, D&D, big name stuff for sure.
No, it's like I don't think a lot of people would get a Warhammer reference or anything.
Yeah.
And so, no, never did joke about one.
Beer and bone splitters. I love it.
Only only joke that I chuckle at is when they did Orktober, and then I I was like, so when's Black Orc History Month? That's a Warhammer joke I like.
I love it. Painting up Spirit Seer for my Craft World Eldar. Sweet. Yeah, actually, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. Like, I'm getting into like skirmish level games, so that's why I'm painting these guys up. But in addition to that, I grabbed a box of Plague Marines and Poxwalkers for Kill Team, which I'm pretty pumped about. Eventually, it'll blossom into a full army, but at this point, I was just like, I just got these guys. I wanted something simple that I could do contrast paints with, just to make it look basic and then build up over time. I think it's pretty good. Oh, I missed one more thing. Let's see. Speaking of tons of little details on battle line, I'm painting Lothern Seaguard from the old Island Blood set. There is so much detail on those guys. That was one of their most, I would say, impressive model kits, even though it was never really its own kit. But yeah, no, that's a chore. Were you around when they did that set, Jack?
No.
Yeah, okay.
But I purchased it when I got into AOS.
Gotcha.
It's interesting, like how you can, because I would occasionally dip my toe back in where I go to gamesworkshop.com, see what they were up to.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it was the new edition where it was like dwarves and orcs and goblins, and just being so turned off because I felt like they regressed in like just how the models looked. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's awful. But now it's just amazing how, and so I was like, oh, I don't want to get back into this game. This stuff looks like crap. Just how far they've come with plastic stuff.
I don't know if I've actually ever seen that kit. I've heard that sentiment before, though. Like, people, like, for whatever reason, that set turned them away. And some folks, it was like, oh, because I don't like, the classic fantasy tropes of those two things. But other folks like, no, the model's just terrible. I was like, oh, okay.
It just looked bad. It looked hokey and like just.
Let's see. Matthias, gotta go. See you, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Making a list of the tools I'll need to actually start building and painting my first miniatures. I have Soul Wars box staring at me. Your videos are the reason I'm getting in the game. Aw, well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. As far as stuff you need, I say start small. Just need some clippers to get them off the sprue, maybe some plastic glue. Keep it simple. Let's see. Do you get recognized when you go to a Game Workshop store, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not every time, but yeah. I just hang out in front until somebody does.
Just stand
I
around.
re-roll one's hat and t-shirt with a video playing behind me.
Yeah. Let's see. Battle for Skull Pass was pretty subpar, especially compared to the 40k releases at the time. Oh yeah, I forget, because the 40k boxes were amazing at the time. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sometimes I forget 40k exists. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you start going that far back, like fantasy existed before it, so it's just like there was a point in time when that wasn't a crazy notion. Connor, happy 4th of July. Sorry, I'm from the UK and currently living up north in Canada. Yeah, dude. Yeah, basically it's just a day where we all sit around and grill and shoot stuff, fireworks
Yeah.
and guns, because we can. Let's see. Does Jack take re-rolling one's dice to the shop when you play?
Yeah, they're like usually. I need to order more because I like if I play somebody who's a fan of the channel, I'll give them a set, like a pair of dice. So I actually need to order more. Yeah, they're my usual dice I game with.
Nice. Let's see. James, any chance of seeing any of you guys at the GWAOS event in Dallas? Nah, not for me.
Yeah, we're going to Nova though.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. I've heard mixed feelings about the GW events up in Dallas. Because I guess they weight the narrative and the painting heavier than people were expecting, even though it's like a match play event. And so I've heard some grumbling about that, but that's just what it is. It's whatever.
Grumble. People grumbling about GW, man.
Dude, I know.
People are tripping. Next thing you're gonna say, people are mad because the price is going up. We're gonna have a Cetra controversy again.
I know, right? I stand by my statements.
Yeah, I don't want to talk smack about Cetra because then I'm gonna be a hypocrite about like
When you jump into that arm when he comes out.
it's just like people love Cetra. Why?
I'm sure there's a part of the staff at GW is also asking the same question.
Yeah, exactly. People love Cetra and Sisters of Battle. It's the same. I feel the same. Like was just love, an obsession. I think it might be like a vocal minority because I'm saying if they were that like that wanted and there was that much demand, they'd be out.
There's the pot. Jack's stirring it. All right. Ooh, that was dangerous. I almost put yellow straight into this dude's cave. Okay. So for anyone who was listening earlier when I talked about that trick with contrast where you throw down the medium and then kind of blend everything into it, this is an example of that. Let me see if I can get a good shot here. Yes, on this robe. I'll show it again when it dries, but basically I did the medium from the base of the cape up to about 3/4 of the way up, and then did brown on the tips and then drug it upward. And so it makes, I don't know if you can see really well, it makes a nice dirty effect on the edge of the cape. And I like it. I tried it on someone's legs to make it match the base, but because of the zenithal highlighting, it's so dark at the bottom anyway, it didn't make a difference. Like you can't tell. So that's not important, but yeah, the dirt trick with that kind of stuff seems to work pretty well. So let's see. Had 5,000 points of Sisters Battle for about 10 years. Whoa. Let's see. Sounds like Australia Day with more guns. Many more guns. Let's see. Yeah, that's basically what we do. Oh, get this out of the way. All right. Huh?
Australia has a day, their Independence Day.
I mean, every country has a day. I want to know what the first country to have a their country day was, and then everyone else is just copying. I like it. I'm sure it's something that's super like, I don't know, out there. Like,
Country that probably doesn't exist anymore.
yeah. Or just one you wouldn't expect. It's like, boom, Czechoslovakia Day, and everyone else is a poser, and you're like, what?
Isn't it the Czech Republic now?
Probably.
There's no Czechoslovakia.
Geography is not my strong suit. That's why I liked AOS before they had maps.
Looking good, my friend.
Was looking good. Let's see. They kind of have an Independence Day in Australia. It's weird. My favorite is when I lived in San Antonio. They have an event every year called MIOSA, My Old San Antonio, where basically, you imagine if Seattle got together and said, hey, all the subcultures in our area, let's just shut down the city one day randomly, have a big party, and everyone just celebrate your culture. And so, like, you got folks like from China making Chinese food right there, like a big, like, think like a county fair, all the food vendors, that kind of stuff. And there's music from all different cultures. But it was when I moved to San Antonio, it was just the weirdest thing of like, everyone's like, oh yeah, we're going to Mayos, they want to come, blah, blah, blah. What's it for? I don't know. We just turn the city off for a day and just have fun. I was like, oh, okay. Cool.
Good old cork for my bases.
I'm just getting into cork for bass and stuff. Right now I'm throwing down some different washes to make their bases kind of match all the different colored tiles of the game board. Cork. Let's see. Hey, Hugh.
I have like Ace of Base stuck in my head.
Ace of Base. Oh, yeah. That's an oldie.
It's all that you want is another. It's been stuck in my head for like a day. Why?
I'll ask this to the chat. So, many folks will know, like from like the '90s, the Barbie girl song. Like, I'm a Barbie girl, you know, Barbie girl. So I remember I had a tape that my brother made for me, and it was a punk band did a remix of it, and I have not been able to figure out who played it because it was like kind of metal in some places. It was the greatest cover ever. Cannot figure out for the life of me what that's from. So if anyone knows, please tell me. As far as weird songs stuck in our heads. Ramstein. Let me Google that real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to throw these washes down, then I'll look that up. After this, I'm probably going to hop off just because it's now 1 o'clock and this all needs to dry before I can do anything else. It's fun.
That was good. I think I'm good to go as well.
Yeah. How much progress did you get done on your Castellan, whatever it is?
Highlights, and he is finished.
Sweet.
I appreciate it, Doug. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone. Oh, go ahead.
To us paint and repeat ourselves.
Yeah, no joke. Everyone have a wonderful 4th of July. We will see you all very, very soon. And join me on Saturday morning for about 10 o'clock my time, Pacific Standard Time. We're going to talk about the Red Feast by Gav Thorpe, the book, and do our big book review. So, anyway, thank you all. We will see you all very, very soon.
Bye-bye.